Good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today it is episode number 80 of the Weekly Close. We're basically a podcast that mainly talks about crypto.com, Cronos, and if you want to join the discussion, we do this live every freaking Sunday, 9 p.m. Amsterdam time, but also on Thursday we do have the midweek update. So don't forget to strap in to all these different live streams. And also, don't forget to hit the like button, of course, so you don't miss any video and also help me with the algorithm. So, a lot to discuss, a lot to go through today, guys. So don't forget to, stay tuned to the end because I think it's time to have a discussion. Have a discussion about the bottom, about the bear market, about a lot of stuff. Welcome, Zakas. Welcome, Teddy. Welcome, Act, Bjorn, Kai. Good evening. Good evening. Trans King, hello. So, as always, we do not beat about the bush here on this channel. We hit a new low for CRO. A new low so far for CRO since 2026. You can see we went all the way down to 7.3 cents. Within only hours, we went from about 8.5, 8.8. Down about minus 10%. Ow. We're talking about even about minus 17%. That hurts, man. That shit hurts. True. But the fun thing is, since that happened here, since we hit this low, CRO has been doing pretty well. CRO has honestly been doing pretty well. If you take a look at the CRO Bitcoin chart, I think this one is important. You can see it is teetering, tottering constantly at about the 0.00010 rate. So basically, if you take a look at the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin is worth, give or take, currently 77,000. Well, in that case, you can expect that CRO is hovering at about 7.7 cents. So about a factor 10,000. Yeah, a factor 10,000. Is that correct? I don't know. But you can see it's always very close. So if Bitcoin goes back to about 80k, CRO should be at around 8 cents. If Bitcoin goes to 90k, CRO should be at about 9 cents. So that's a CRO Bitcoin valuation that we've been seeing for a long time. 10 cents so far, not 10 cents. The 0.10 range here, been important for a long time. And we're holding. The only exception was when we dropped as low as 7.3 cents yesterday for Cronos. But, and this might sound weird, right? I'm still not talking about a bear market. But I have a fundamental case for that. And as we are talking at this exact moment, we do see that Bitcoin is dropping a bit more. And this is getting quite significant. I'm going to show you quickly the screen why I think where we are as of right now, it is actually quite interesting. We need to get a bounce soon. That's something I've been talking about for quite some time. But you can see we've had a bounce here also yesterday, a few hours earlier, and also today, a few hours before this live stream. So where we are now, about 76.8. This is a good point to have a bounce. I hope at least. Otherwise, we could potentially revisit a very old low, because I am not yet talking about a bear market, because if you ask me, this ain't a bear market, because it also wasn't a bear market when we dropped from 108 to 74. And as long as this isn't a bear market, this over here, I don't think it's fair to call this a bear market either. The minute we drop below the previous low here, I think the cards have to be shuffled again. Especially once we start ranging here at about 69. 69 is the previous high, also of the previous bull market in 2021. So, yeah, the 74 till 69 range is really crucial. And so far we're holding. And I think the point here, I think it was Pete that mentioned it. Not this one. The sky is falling. Kidding, not really, Matt. We're getting merely a new higher low. Well, two things. We did get a lower low. We did get a lower low if you zoom in. If you zoom in, you can see we had a low here. We had a higher low, and we broke it here and here and here again. So regarding the November time frame, yes, in the last 3 months, we've now created a new lower low. That's true. But I like to zoom out, give you the big picture, and there you see. And I think this is quite interesting, right? Because you see here, we're also creating these lower lows. We are creating these lower lows, but then we're going higher. So what if it's pretty much the same? We are creating a lower low here. You can see also the time is actually quite similar. So here we had a low in February, and then we had a new low in April. This is about 2 months. Well, this is a bit more. This is about 2.5 months. But it's pretty similar though. You can see, right? It's pretty similar. We have a downward period where we do create lower lows, but then we go higher. This, for me personally, this will be the flipping point where I'm talking about a potential bear market. But so far, it ain't all that bad. It is getting into the danger zone though. Chuckles, I'm in danger. Welcome, guys. We're talking about the bull versus bear case. Is the 4-year cycle alive? I don't know. It's too soon to call. Definitely too soon to call. As I mentioned, right, this ain't a bear market, and this also is not a bear market. Yeah, we're only talking about, what is it in total? It's brutal, right? 40%. For CRO, it's more. For CRO, I think we're talking about at the high. On this exchange, it went to 39, 39, 73. It's 81%. Ouch. It's painful, but hey, pain is good, guys. Pain is good. Pain reminds us that we are alive. Pain reminds us of the decisions we made. Pain reminds us also of what the dangers are that we are doing. Because I am not going to mention to you guys that it's all going to be rosy. I think there's a good case to be made that we are now at the bottom. And why do I say that? Well, I want to show you guys a few indicators, and then we're going back to the chat, guys, because I know there are so many different opinions about this, so many different takes, so many different, views. And I think all of those views all have something correct. And also my views, I like my views. I like my views. But some people might not like it. What I do like to show you sometimes, though, is that we got the RSI here, the Relative Strength Index. And I made a tweet about this, but CRO is currently oversold. CRO is currently oversold. At a pretty deep level as well. We're talking about about 23. The 23 level, we don't go there that often. Actually, if you take a look at the history of CRO, of the most recent years, when did we go to 23? We went over here. We went to 23, and we created again a bigger pump afterwards. Same thing over here. It's not exactly, but you can see we went down here. It went to minus 23, give or take. A bit lower, actually, a bit lower. Then also we went to about 23 cents here. We were down lower. Went to also below 7 cents, about 6.5, 6.7. We went to an RSI of minus 20, or not minus 20, about 20-ish. So we're getting to a point where the RSI typically starts to reverse. And I do like what Peter's talking about here. This statement, I thought it wouldn't happen. I thought it wouldn't happen. Well, here we are. I have to admit that we are now back to the scam wick of the 10th of October. It's not visible on this exchange, but if you take a look at the CRO USD chart, for example, on Kraken. No, Kraken is a bad example. Kraken also didn't go that low. Kraken went to about 9.7. But on the crypto.com exchange, I believe, there we go. Do you see that we are extremely close? Not entirely, but extremely close here to the scam week of the 10th of October. So what it's basically told us is that the order books are supporting us really strongly from about 7.1 cents. That's also why this response was so quick here. It went about 7.3 and it jumped up. It also went all the way back to about 8 cents. When I backed out a bit below 8 cents, but I think this is still pretty strong. Oh, and this is also good, by the way, guys. We talked about the on the short time frame. Yeah, this is really good, actually. This is really, really good. We needed a bounce here, and we're getting a bounce so far. This is the 5-minute chart, but this is important. We are short term creating a bit of a higher low here. This is not really significant, but I think this jump here is quite telling. Yeah, I might be celebrating a bit too soon though, but if we can break this over here, short term that could be good. Short term that could be good. So Pido was very correct in his statement already since October that we might go back and retest the scam wick before we move up again. Could we go lower? Could we go lower? Of course we can. But if you ask me, what are the odds? Like, let's say we go lower. Let's say we go lower. I have a fundamental bull case for CRO. So I do believe that at some point, ladies and gentlemen, at some point, I don't know when, I don't know how exactly, but CRO has shown throughout the years that CRO has moments of pump. So if you want to get rid of all your CRO, be my guest, please do so. If you don't feel comfortable with your positions, please get rid of your CRO. But typically, you do not sell your CRO when the RSI or all the other indicators are so oversold. What you typically do is you wait till a moment like this over here, until it's overbought, 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 and also overbought here. And we know one thing, crypto is volatile. So I think it's very likely that crypto at some point, including CRO, will have a bit of a bounce back. Will it go to 10, 12, 20, 40, 50? $1? I think everything is possible, but I think it's important, guys, that you typically shouldn't sell in a fearful moment, but you should sell in a moment with good consideration. And of course, you can also make good considerations now. But I think selling at this point, you're too late. You're simply set too late. Like the risk versus reward of selling now versus buying in. Think about that. Welcome, welcome. Check 313. Welcome, guys. Don't forget to strap in. I bought my wedding suit today. Or well, I went to the tailor. So I couldn't really check the charts today, unfortunately. Hey, what just happened there? There we go. Welcome again, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way in or on the way out. I see Sanja, I see Zerkas, Behave, hi bro again, nice to see you back again. How are you doing? How's your job search going on? I've got some calls next week, so it's going into the right direction, I believe. Let's see though. I had so my tailor, the tailor I talked today, actually also knew about CRO and knew about crypto.com. I'm like, yeah, oh, so you make videos? Pretty cool, actually. Like, he had belief. He had belief. Long-term holder. Good to know that people think about, you know, CRO and crypto.com or crypto in general as long-term investment plans. Cool stuff. Okay, so where are we? Technically, we're still not on the bear market. We haven't broken the April 2025 low. Yeah, true. So this, guys, what we've been talking about, as long as we are holding around here, it's all perfectly fine, if you ask me. The moment we drop below this, we have to reconsider all bear case. But so far, so good. So far, so good. Star Fox leveling some snow today. Man, I've heard it's super cold in the US. Like freezing. Freezing. Array, welcome. Mantic, good to see you. Low crow price, it's a buying opportunity. Yeah, and I would say same thing for Bitcoin, right? I know a lot of people having sight lines about Bitcoin. They thought, well, maybe I should buy in at about 30, but it might drop back to like 16, so they didn't buy. Then it kept rising and rising. Well, I think it might drop back to 30 at 50, didn't go drop back. I am of the belief we'll never go back to 30k for Bitcoin. 50k at some point, maybe. Unlikely, but maybe. And I honestly think this could be it. This could be it, but of course I could be wrong. As always, no financial advice. Always, guys, measure your own risk. Don't buy things that you don't want to. And especially during these periods, make sure you check your leverage. We are flying B. Good to see you, sir. So we also got the 5 EMA TransKing is talking about. So I think we bounced this week. Currently, we are making the bottom wick for a green month of February. Just my opinion, though. Don't do things. Don't go batting your shirt to my rumblings. Neither your pants, sir. Neither your pants. I hope you keep your pants this cycle. So this is actually a good point we're making here, guys. So I don't know if you have seen this yet, but the monthly charts are honestly brutal. Honestly freaking brutal. So what you see here for Bitcoin specifically is that we have had 1, 2, 3, 4 closed months with a red color, right? 4 red color months. This doesn't happen often. Last time this happened, 4 red candles a month, and so far February is red, but of course this can go either direction. Last time I had 4 red candles, was it 2021? No. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We have to go all the way back to 2018. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles. And 2018, guys, that was when Bitcoin wasn't truly mature. That was when Bitcoin was in the discovery phase still. This was brutal. It dropped from about 20k all the way back to $3,000. What an opportunity, right? So I want to urge you guys to the fact here that what we have done here, it's pretty special. It is truly quite special. We have had 4 red months, with so far also a 5th building. So just think about this out loud. How big are the odds? How big are the odds, really, that we are going to create a 5th and also a 6th? Didn't happen, right? Didn't happen here. So why would we continue with even more red candles? Only if the 4-year cycle is truly going to be correct. But a 4-year cycle theory is also getting weaker and weaker by the year. Do we really believe that the diminishing miner rewards is going to change the complete economic structure regarding money inflow, money outflow? I don't think so. CoinBaron, when I say still higher, I'm talking about the monthly chart though. We still haven't broken April low, so technically it's a vicious pullback in a continued bull market. True, yeah, that's I think also. Well, if you say it that way, right? We have created. This is the lowest monthly close we have had in. Yeah, that's crazy. The lowest weekly, the lowest monthly close so far since October of 2024. That's like a lifetime ago, isn't it? That's before Trump. During the sleepy Joe Biden days. Crazy. 2 cents incoming. That would be a new all-time low for Cronos. 6 cents would be lucky, true. I believe that. Positive motivational post. Hey, what pages do you use to see those graphs? Jake, welcome. What are you talking about? The RSI? So this is TradingView. I don't have a link, but if you take a look at TradingView at Google, it's pretty clear. Also, guys, I want to show you the weekly RSI as well for Bitcoin. I just want to show you that typically a bear market. Let's say this is a bear market, like a mini bear market. Let's go to the devil's advocate route, right? Let's go to devil's advocate route. Let's say this has been a mini bear market. We have had mini bear markets before. This in 2021 or 2019. This was a mini bear market. Maybe a bit of a big mini bear market, but minus 70%. That's big, right? If we not include the wicks, though, we'll talk about minus 50%. This wasn't really the case. This was only there for only a few days or hours. Like, this doesn't really happen. This was the big structural move that we had, minus 50%. This is very close to what we have seen so far, about minus 50%. But let's assume this is the mini bear market here. Or let's assume this is the big bear market. Also fine to me. I want to show you quickly here with this chart, with this RSI levels, that typically, again, we do not go this low. Do you see where we are? How low we are on the RSI on the weekly? We're talking currently about level 32. And here, we went a bit lower, so we can always go lower. We went here to 25. Here, though, in 2020, I think this was the COVID dump. The COVID dump, guys, went exactly this high. So if, let's say this is the mini bear market, like what we have had in 2020 or 2019, really. That's here. Yeah, exactly. That's the one. This is the one. This is the one where we had a very similar RSI as back then. Same levels, right? Isn't that a coincidence? No, it's because we are currently also in some kind of fear-induced market due to the 10th of October. Also, 2018. The 2018 bear market, guys, RSI-wise, didn't go much lower. It did go a bit lower, but only like 10%. And that's the RSI. Like, the RSI can move very quickly, of course. But that was at the bear market bottom. The bear market bottom happened at about $3,000. So we're getting very close, guys, to the bottom. We either are there, and I think the more we bounce on this exact level where we are, I just talked about this, right? The short term, this is what we talked about in the beginning of the stream. At about 77. At about 77, if you bounce here, this has also been the low here. You can see, right? We're bouncing, give or take, at this level here. This happened. Yes, we went all the way to 74 for Bitcoin, or 75 point something. This shows, though, that this was bought up by the market within seconds. So we are now at a structurally point of high interest, I would say. Coinbar needs to put a crow in the meter to restart the electric. Oh, that's why I'm losing so much crow. Oh, by the way, also a positive note. A positive note as well. Welcome, Light Luke. You convinced me. I actually bought some more. Of course, it's always some personal thoughts about this. Do not do things you don't want to do. Don't take additional risks. I am, though, like, the bull case for me, it's so freaking clear. Whereas the bear, even if the bear case, okay, let's go to the big screen now. Even if this is the bear case, right? If this is the bear market, it's the worst. We're getting close to levels where we typically do not go. Further than that, we also have very strong support at the previous low at 74. That was the April low. That was the big tariff-induced dump. And then we also have, that was the second big thing, The all-time high at 69. 69, guys. You know, 69. 67. No, not 67. 69. No, it's a big level of support. First at 74 and then 69. Like worst case, it's 69 or very close to 69. We might have a little wick below it. I am though of the opinion that probably we don't go much lower. Remember, the 10th of October, V for Vendetta. Ay. The 10th of October, that was a day, Zerkas. That was a day. Don't like to be reminded of that one. Blessings on the suit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the wedding, guys. Will still take some time though. Oh, come on, Bitcoin, you can do it. I drew it a bit incorrectly here, but you can see, right? It's about here. Also, what I'd like to show you quickly. Yeah, we have some time. We have plenty of time, guys. Welcome. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way in. What I like to show you guys as well is that we are talking about altcoin season. And I think this will be a separate video as well, so don't forget to subscribe. Do you see that every time on this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. So this is Bitcoin versus altcoins. And the higher this goes, the stronger Bitcoin becomes. The lower this goes, the stronger altcoins become, including Cronos, including Ethereum, including AVAX, including Ripple. What I like to show you guys is that we have bounced so many times at about 60%. Every time we go to near about 60%, it goes down again. So it shows to me that basically 60%, it's where altcoins also want to run a bit of. The only thing which I don't, yeah, actually this is not too bad. Not too bad. Altcoins though, I think we still have some strength. That's also why CRO Bitcoin, it's getting back now a bit lower, but it's holding on pretty strong. Oh no. Come on, you can do Bitcoin. So far, it's holding. It's called TradingView, yeah. Wondering that adding 70 billion CRO to further supply back here means, you know, 2 foot high for the CRO price. It's not how it works. It's all about circulating supply in the end, not about what's, you know. Okay, interesting. We just dropped below this, guys. We're all doing this live. Bitcoin, it's dropping now. 76. I'm curious how Ethereum is reacting to this. Interesting, very interesting. Also, guys, we will soon see also what I think what the S&P futures will do. They will open up soon. Where do I see Ethereum? Ethereum is at about 2,300. Wow, that is dropping quite harsh. Let's see what we'll do. Connect with the other CRO members on the Discord. Yeah, true. Don't forget to join the Discord, guys. It's pretty fun. People are screaming bear market close to the bounce. You can literally see it in the chart. True. At least that's my take. I cannot feel bearish right now. Up only. NFA, of course. Yeah, so the additional supply cannot affect the price when it's not on the open market. And that's also why Flying B, I think I get what we're talking about here, right? So you think, hey, we might have more supply, therefore it makes sense that if you zoom out, let me go to let me use this chart quickly here. If you zoom out, So more supply. So therefore also this makes sense that this is the high. Previously $1. So with additional supply, about 40 cents. But the additional supply isn't circulating. So like from a traditional finance or economic theory point of view, it's not the case. And also so far only, I think about 20 billion has been minted. I have to check though. I have to go to mint scan. We can do that now. Mint scan. So mint scan, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know mint scan is a website that I use to track, for example, the Cronos mint wallet. So if you go to Cronos POS is the proof of stake chain. It is the base layer of Cronos. If you then go to accounts, and then you have the rich list. Number 1 has about 58 billion of CRO. So it means 70 minus 58. So far, only about 11 has been minted. 11 billion CRO. If you truly want to do the math, I think you can calculate the price equilibrium. So you can do like the actual supply versus demand type of thing regarding price. You can calculate the price. It would be higher than this. It would be higher than what you are talking about here. Only mentioning the 70 billion ad as the high for CRO is about minus 70% of the previous high. I think it's... Is it true? Yeah, it's... Yeah. If you count the wick. It's a bit too simplistic though, we are flying B. I get where you're coming from, but I think it's a bit too simplistic. The market makers want retail to sell. They are fueling this bearish news. I think it's true also. And the thing I'm saying here about this specifically is that this is all happening, guys, in a weekend. Oh, we are reversing, by the way. We are reversing beautifully. When I back here to the line, please cross the line. Please cross the line, Bitcoin. Thank you. Thanks for your services here. Yes, on the line. Go up. Fake out. Okay, so far, guys, so good. Big fake out here. It's holding, it seems. We don't do fake outs here on the chart. But I want to remind you that it's a weekend. It's a weekend. BlackRock is not buying. Crypto.com is not buying. This is a 24/7 market, so of course you can trade. Nobody is stopping you, but the big offices, the big money, they're not coming in right now. Also during Christmas, they're not buying. That's also, I think, why one of the reasons that we dropped so much is because we were doing this during the Christmas period. Well, not the Christmas period actually, but typically like offices, they are not doing that much near the end of the year, typically, or not making big investment decisions. They have to think clearly, of course, what is global balance sheet going to look like, especially public companies. But what I want to say is that this drop that happened in April, when do you think this happened? On a Sunday. This first big initial drop happened on a Sunday. No, wait a minute. Wait, not this. This one happened on a Sunday. The big move from 83 to 77. That was when nobody had the chance truly to react regarding institutions. But the minute we had really, banks open up again, companies waking up, you can see a big move to the upside. I'm kind of expecting something similar. But of course, it's a bit of opium. But I have seen this play out so many times. So my experience, also my gut feel is saying this. Have you added to your long positions, or are you still bullish? Did nothing. I did nothing. I'm still bullish. Futures closed on Friday at 84k. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, guys, good news. We had a bounce here. So far, so good. Nothing happened. We can forget this just dropped below it. Nothing happened, guys. We're doing this live, of course. Thank you so much, by the way, for all the viewers. All the nice chat as well. You know, it's a bear market vibe, but we got 56 people here. But still, some belief, some hopium as well. Good stuff, good stuff. Bitcoin is truly the king of crypto. I was hoping XRP to replace Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin will always have the first mover advantage. It will... You know the thing about Bitcoin, we are flying B. You know what the thing is that Bitcoin has no owner. Bitcoin, well, it was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, but if you take a look at our XRP, it has a controlling party. It is still unlocking more XRP to the Ripple Foundation. There is always a factor of trust there, whereas for Bitcoin, there is a lot less trust required. That's also one of the reasons why a BNB token, why an OKX token, why a CRO token has some additional risk, because it is related to an entity. And as long as the entity is fine, it can be a positive. But the minute, and I'm talking about the FTX token, FTT for example, the minute something happens with the related entity, things can go very quickly to the downside as well. Penina is thinking 60k Bitcoin. Ooh, okay. I'm still pretty positive that this is it. Or it's very close to it. Very close to it. I can hardly wait for the CRO things in February. Let me also make some good stuff about this, guys. On the 11th, I will make an official post about this, but on the 11th of February, we're gonna have an interview with nobody less than Ryan, the CEO of Cronos, on this channel. But not only Ryan, we also will have Zane as well. Zane is the most recent addition to the team. Ryan, or not Ryan, Zane will be the Chief Product Officer. So Ryan and the first public appearance, oh well, both actually, first public appearance of Ryan and first public appearance of Zane, all happening on this channel. So what you have to do is you have to strap in, subscribe, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, because I don't know when it will go live, but we will go live and it will be big. There will be actually also some announcements made during the stream. Happy to have you, Lloyd. It's a good vibe here. Always good vibes. You know, people are always negative. We are typically the positive people here. So you had 5 cents. Well, what's your case, Penina? What's your case? Well, why specifically 5 cents? Why specifically 60k for Bitcoin? Do you expect, you know, a final capitulation? Will it be quick? Will it be swift? Or will it be long? Will it be short? Strapped in. Yeah, I'm also strapped in, sir. 11th of February. Marketing your agenda. It will be big. Will be good. It will be good for the community. It will be good for everyone. And you know what I'm also very bullish about in general is that CRO, it's holding on so strongly, if you ask me. Like the bull case is so good. I mean, everything is going down. Like we're talking about Ethereum a minute ago. Ethereum is at about, you know, 2,300. CRO is still at about 8 cents. About 8 cents. So again, this is the CRO Bitcoin chart. It's doing nothing. Been doing nothing for the last week. How is the CRO, the Bitcoin Ethereum chart, BTC Ethereum or ETH Bitcoin? I can guarantee you guys it's way worse. And this is actually quite crazy. Typically, Cronos tends to follow the Ethereum value evaluation, because Ethereum, it's the king of altcoins. Ethereum is the kingmaker typically. But it's weird to see that Ethereum is dropping off so harshly. The 200 week for Bitcoin. That is what's my bear case for. Okay, so let me go to the. Let me go there quickly. Wow, it's a good reaction so far. It's actually really good so far. So, as I mentioned earlier, we do need to break about here. But I'm happy to see that Bitcoin is almost back to 70, 78. Let's break 79. Let's go back to 80. And then I would think that on Monday, in theory, so this is, guys, this is a zone. This specifically is a zone here where not much is happening. In between this and this line. This is what I typically like to call no man's land. This is the big thing, right? Let's go back to World War One. Here we got the French. Here we got the Germans. The Germans like to stay in their trench because this is freaking dangerous. Nobody comes here. Same also for the English or for the French here. Oh, they both fought together. Nobody comes here. This is a hard nut to crack. So if we crack this, typically you make it easily to the other side. Because there is no way back. That's typically how it goes. You either make it or you freaking don't. We don't go to no man's land often. But when we do, it's a big march. Then of course the only thing is it's hard to break in. It's hard to break in through the trenches, and then you are entering, of course, a new line. Once you conquer this line, it's the next line, of course. Then what we're looking at, you know, this would be a big trench. This would be a new trench here. A big trench where we are fighting, and then we have another lap here of no man land. I hope this makes it a bit more visual. And this is how you also can think logically about how crypto also conquers and how it emotionally tries to conquer also space. The only Crow Ninja. 3360, man, welcome. What time? 11 a.m. PT Pacific time. I will make an announcement, don't you worry. I will make an announcement later. Yeah, so I'm curious though what the stock market will do. We've had some troubling numbers from Microsoft, but they were okay-ish. They were definitely okay-ish. But still, you can see, right, there was a bit of fear. Same also for gold. Gold had a... Oh, you know, the thing about this gold chart, everyone is talking about this. About the minus 10% drop. But nobody's talking about this. About the plus 50% move earlier. If you ignore the noise, right? Let's ignore the noise. If you go to like a weekly chart. This looks more healthy. Let's ignore all the wicks. This looks pretty okay, actually. It's a bit like here. It's almost exactly like here. So yes, in the short term, it looks super bearish, but zoom out. Like even gold could go higher. Never thought I would be doing TA with bears versus bulls and W2. I would say, well, World War One, but I'm so the Dutch were neutral, so I could learn from afar. What was the price Chris said to hold him accountable? It was 10 cents actually. I made a tweet about it. You can follow me, by the way, at CoinBaron. I will, by the way, check the 200 day, 200 week in a minute. Chris accountable 10. Da, 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 da. Pretty funny. Breaking news. Crow coin is 10 cents. That was October or February 2024. Man, oh man. I think we can actually watch this video for a second. RIP. Well, I'm gonna say this, Pinina, a lot can happen until March. Like, literally so much can happen. Let's listen to this one together. Give me 1 sec, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Don't forget to strap in. Very important, strap in. Let's listen to this quick clip here of CEO Chris Marszalek of Crypto.com. And I think this should be it. Let me enable sound quickly. There we go.
Bringing on institutional investors to Cronos. I think at this moment it's mostly retail who is holding it, and you've seen it in terms of the votes. I think the total percentage of votes voting no was about almost 5%. But if you look at the USD value of it, it was about $100 million. So we need to bring in institutional investors into the fold to make sure that the size of the ticket is completely different. And there's also the emerging opportunity of some companies following the MicroStrategy or now strategy playbook with accumulating digital assets. But to differentiate, they go beyond Bitcoin. Some of them, they're doing baskets. Some of them, they're doing 80-20 type of setup. I think there's a huge opportunity there for Cronos to be a part of these new accumulation channels. And number 5 for me is just innovating at token utility level to further drive adoption. And that goes both for on-chain projects and also what we do off-chain on the centralized platform, leading to growing demand for services and the underlying tokens. So I believe very firmly that if we do all 5, we will be in top 5. But again, it requires significant investment into the ecosystem build out, multi-year effort. And on the multi-year effort, I want to point out that even with this restoration of the original 2018 circa 100 billion CCY circulating supply, it's still a 12 years total vesting period. So nobody can question commitment to this multi-year effort. And then it will require building and leveraging relationships. It will require timing, and as always, it will in entrepreneurial journeys, it will require some luck. But there's full commitment. I'm fully supportive of this. I think this is going to be a reset for Cronos, and is going to create a completely different kind of momentum. I think this is the gist of my views on this somewhat controversial proposal. I would also like to believe that if you look at this long term, even the people who voted against it, after a couple of quarters or maybe a year or maybe 2 years, they will look back at this point.
This is it.
And will agree that this was actually done in the best interest of the community and everybody benefited. And I suggest you guys just look at the calendar today. We've got 25th of March, set a reminder for 25th next year, and hold me to account if results are not delivered. And the fourth thing on
Check 2 on 2. Yeah, it's a bit soft. I'm sorry. It's the original audio is a bit soft. So 10th of March. Yeah, so I was already, going ASMR style. Yeah, a little bit of ASMR here on the channel. Just a little bit, a bit of tingling here, tingling there. Let's not clip this, please. Are we okay now regarding sound? I guess so. Sorry. Okay, I think sound-wise we're fine now, but it's actually quite interesting that if you take a look at the exact words the exact words here by Chris here are, take a look at the 25th of March, set a reminder for next year, and hold me to account if results are not delivered. I think he might say, but guys, wait. We have results. We have this freaking Trump Media treasury company coming. But I think of course, results are not just, news. Results are also price action. And I think it's very fair that we all should go to Twitter. We have some time. March is still like the 25th of March. Yeah, wait, where is it? The 25th of March, right? The 25th of March. That's a lifetime from here. Crow SMR. I did also say Euro 2. He knew. Yeah, he did somewhere say Euro 2. Yeah, quarters or maybe a year or maybe 2. You can't see it. Well, I can. 1 sec. Quarters or maybe a year or maybe 2. Maybe 2 years. So I think he will maybe play the maybe 2-year part or maybe 2-year card because it's taking some more time. Partially also due to the SEC. So not everything is in their control. That's the truth. But yeah, it's a thing. It was 10 cents back then. Wait, you actually had a granddad that made ammunition for the World War I troops. He couldn't find because he had lost half a leg when a wooden beer barrel fell. That's a way to lose a leg. That's a story, man. That's a good story, actually. I'm now curious. Did your father work or grandfather work at Guinness? I don't know any other English. I don't know any other English beer brands, honestly. I come from the land, the land from Heineken. Heineken is Dutch. End of March. Yeah, it's a long time. It's a long time. Let me check. Let me double check. I think it was 10 cents on the 25th of March. I believe it was. We can simply check, guys. Don't you worry. I'm there to do that for you. All service, free of charge. The only thing I do ask of you guys is to please hit the like button. So, 25th of March, that was over here, basically. I have to be very careful. I have to go to the daily chart because you can see it went all over the place. It went all over the place. On the 25th of March, Crow was at about 10 cents. It was over here. A few days later, though, it fell back to these levels. So you can see it was a short-lived pump. But it started an uptrend. And that uptrend eventually to about 40 cents. That was a move very close to about, 6x. Yeah, but Zerkas is right. Yeah, music is down. Let me quickly fix the music back for you guys. Oh, I need to... Oh, let me... If I turn on the music now, you guys... Oh. It's better. I saw earlier you have a Crow long... Was it in the Discord, Mr. X? Was it in the Discord? Or was that... Where is that? It's at about 5 cents, though. What if Crow does not reach anywhere high in 2026? That's a possibility. That's not my base case, though. I wouldn't be here if I would believe that. Now here in the line, someone asked you about your position. I think it's at about 5 cents, but I could, in theory, add some leverage. I think it's very low. I typically don't like to do like, so people swear by 30x, guys. It's you are honestly out of your mind. You're out of your freaking mind if you're going 30x. The long-term position with CRO. Do you see how volatile this token is, guys? You do not need big leverage. Go safe. Even like 2 or 1.5x, that's already big. Let's say you go long here. Let's say we go to my targets of about, you know, here. If you go, let's say you do a 2x, you could in theory, from this point onward, make about a 4,000% gain. My granddad was born in 1890. That's like literally the 19th century. As a young man, he worked as a drayman, taking barrels from the local brewery to pubs on carts pulled by a horse. On a day, a barrel lost balance. Oh, man. I'm happy he could, you know, go on with a wooden leg. It's still harsh. Oh, yeah, the 200 week. The 200 week. Let's check, Penny, now. Let's check. So, we're gonna check, guys, the 200 week simple moving average. The 200 week is basically the 4-year average, or very close to the 4-year average for Bitcoin, meaning what was the price on the last 4 years? It's this line. Currently, it's about 57. Can you check the drawdown for Bitcoin to 200 week, then double the drawdown for CRO? There's your bottom for the bear market. So you say it's minus 25%? And you say, well, if it's minus 24% for Bitcoin, it's about 50 for CRO? Let's see. Like, CRO is actually holding on. I think altcoins have already had a lot of pain. But we can do that. Why not? We can also check the, you know, have some fun. Let's check the 4-year average for CRO as well. While we're at it. It's above us, actually. Very interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, let's for fun and giggles, why not do that? Let's go down 50%. That would bring us like 3 cents. Yeah, that's below the bear market lows of 22. I think that would be weird. It would be very weird. It would even be like it would bring you very close to the COVID dump. To the COVID dumps we had, you know, like way before. This was when like the Visa cards just existed. Only a few countries could get a Visa card. There was no Cronos chain. There was almost no knowledge about CRO in general. Like, fundamentally, so much has happened since then. I have a different take. Also, I think Bitcoin and CRO, if they have a drawdown, I think there's a decent chance it will stay within the ranges it is in. So let me show you the CRO Bitcoin chart again. This is Ethereum Bitcoin. Let's go to CRO Bitcoin. CRO Bitcoin has been in a very clear range. This is the recent, you know, hurdle at about the 10. So we talked about it in the beginning. If Bitcoin is at about 80k, CRO was at 8 cents. If Bitcoin is at 70k, CRO is at about 7 cents. If you ask me what would be like the bear case scenario, it would be a retest here of this long-term trend line, which would be still very low, by the way. It would be about here. It would actually retest. This is interesting. It would retest the 10th of October low. Let's assume that for now. Let's assume that for now. I think that's an interesting take. it would mean about 0.06. That would be a 40% drawdown? Whoa, wait a minute. Is that right? That would be a 40% drawdown on this Bitcoin pair. Wow. Did we go that low? That's interesting. Okay, in that case, we if we follow this line, I thought it was a different line, but maybe is it this one? It's still about the same. Interesting. About minus 30%. Okay, could happen. Not my base case though. Hey, Mr. Q, your name is really hard though. Hey, Q, Mr. Wow, let's call it Mr. Wow. I hold a few million CRO, not gonna lie. I was recently a bit discouraged. I would say it's not necessarily the CRO, right? It's really more what the crypto markets in general are doing. Welcome now. Good to see you, Mr. Wow. Comment, what about the Chris statements? In March 2026, people will be happy. No, I was a bit different. We just watched a clip, Solid Snake, so I recommend to go back about 15 minutes in this video. Go back about minus 50 minutes, and we have watched a clip. I think if you scroll back, you might even see the video. We just had a discussion about his exact words. No financial advice here, but nothing wrong with a bit of DCA, dollar cost average. You can never guarantee it hits your price targets. True. Overall, guys, let's go back to where we started this stream, because I think this is the most important take here. I know a lot of people like Mr. Wow here, they are a bit discouraged. And why is that? It's because of not, the price. It's because of this. It's because of this. Fear and greed. Fear and greed. People are fearful. People are so fearful. But I want to remind you that it was exactly the same a year ago in April. You can't see it, right? But levels over here are very much the same. So again, if I go back, I think almost nobody was calling this the beginning of a bear market. If I'm thinking back. Chris did have a video that he said in March. No, he didn't. Just go back a bit, 50 minutes back, Quantum. You can see his exact words. But nobody was calling this the bear market, and suddenly this is the bear market. Like, what's the difference? What's the difference, guys? I don't see it. Like Quantum Twist, go back 50 minutes and let's do it for you, because you don't believe us. Let's do it for you. A few months ago, these were the exact words. In March, here, we got the 25th of March, and I will remove my own screen here. We got the 25th of March. Set a reminder for the 25th next year, and hold me to account if results are not delivered. Oh, I think you mean a different... I don't know if you mean a different one, but this is the March one we called about. I suggest you guys just look at the calendar today. We got the 25th. Yeah. I think it's important we do not misquote stuff. I think it's in the same line. I do agree, but it's definitely different. I'm staking all my crew, so I'm in it for the long term. But the discouragement is really, for me, coming at a price that's so low. It's more like psychological. what I always do, and I get it, Mr. Wow. I get it. It's, you know, I think it's so human, right? It's what all of us would do. You have invested in something and you might be down. You might be down quite significantly, even on your initial investment. And nobody likes to lose. Nobody likes... I don't know any big loser out there. The thing is, though, about losers is that they learn. They learn from the lessons, and typically they know that after like the worst times, also the good times come back again. So as I told earlier in the stream a bit earlier, so if you want to sell, be my guest. I think it's fine to sell if you're not comfortable with your positions. But if you want to sell, like I would say, and personal opinion here, no financial advice, you shouldn't sell when the daily RSI is oversold. We're only oversold in a handful of times. You shouldn't sell when we're oversold. No, I mean, yeah, you shouldn't sell when we're oversold. You should sell when we're overbought. You sell here, you sell here, you sell here, and you buy here. That's actually, that would be the best scenario ever. You buy here, you sell there. Buy here, sell there. Buy here, sell there. I would never sell my CRO. That's also an option. That's also an option, sir. Oh wow. That's oh, sorry. That was a bit sexy. That was a bit sexy. I'm sorry, Zerkus. Oops. Thanks for the call here. Guys, thank you so much. So we have had, you know, a good stream. I'm just checking the Bitcoin chart though, because in my left eye, I'm seeing some price moves. Let's go to the 5-minute charts again, because this is quite significant. It is quite significant here what's happening like right now with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is dropping, I would say, below 77 again. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. A 5-minute you should typically ignore. You should typically ignore the 5-minute chart, but we're now approaching this low here. So this is something where typically I like to see a bounce. Like here and here. We're all good. Thank you so much, Björn. Enjoy. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope you will have a even better week. I hope we all will have a better week, because like I mentioned before, no, it's not fun for anyone. I mean, so much winning here, right? So much winning. I would like to see some winning, actually. And I think this moment is very much comparable to what we have seen in April. Very much comparable to what we've seen in April. Maybe we'll touch the lows again tomorrow. You can see right here in April, we went low. We maybe went a bit lower. This was on a Sunday. On a Sunday here, we had the big move to the downside. On the Monday that followed, and I think this is also this all happened. If I remember correctly, this all happened when still the majority of people were sleeping. Majority of markets were still closed. But when this happened, we also saw it kept going higher afterwards. There was one retest though, so maybe there is a scenario where we are going down and like truly retest here the lows of April at 74.5. Below that, guys, I have to maybe reevaluate. But yeah, so far, let's take it one step at a time. One step at a time. Bitcoin is creating a bit of a lower low. It's getting closer to the previous low. Interesting. And it's falling like as we speak. But not really drastically. That's the interesting part, right? Yesterday we saw these big red candles, and today it's... Well, I might be speaking before my turn, but... Let's see. CME opens up in about 1 hour. That's also, you know, one saving grace would be maybe the Bitcoin CME gap. Because we did create a CME gap at about 84k. For anyone wondering, futures, so futures close during the weekend at 84k. That means everything below 85 or 84. It didn't register, so therefore we created a CME gap, and it will be a bit like this. It will be a big gap, by the way. Something like this. As you see, we typically come back to close a gap. If it's a big gap or a small gap, doesn't matter. We close the gaps. Could you explain in layman terms what a CME gap could mean for Bitcoin? So it's a bit of a weird theory, but I can try to explain here. So there is no trading in the weekend. There's no trading in the weekend, and only CME futures at least. And basically the theory is that everything that happens in the weekend is basically noise. It's all manipulation. They want traders to have the opportunity to sell where they left off on a Friday. So the theory would be that at least we would go back here to about 84. So people on the CME futures would have the opportunity to sell at where it left off on the Friday. Or on the other way around. So here we also created a CME gap. You can see, right? It left off. It created this gap, but it ended up getting filled. So people had the opportunity to buy back in where they left out really on the weekend. I think that's the best way I can explain it. It's a bit weird though, but it's actually a somewhat proven theory because it happens time and time again. About 90% of all CME gaps are filled within 2 weeks of they appearing. And looking out for me, thank you. Do you actually DCA, Mr. Wow? I'm currently, paying for a wedding, so I have very little cash. I have basically zero cash at the moment. So, unfortunately, very little opportunity for me to DCA. Will be interesting to see if you were to do a poll on 1 day to see who thinks we are in a bear market. I'm not sure, but it feels like the last few months. True. We can do that next Thursday if you want, Smith. I've done it a few times, but we can do it again. Like, in the end, to me, feelings are not important. Feelings are not important for me. It's all about, what's happening on the charts here. I will be honest, right now, I'm buying non-stop. I wish, Mr. Wow, I wish I could do the same. I think it's honestly an opportunity of a lifetime because you can see, right, we don't typically come this low. It's so rare that we come this low. It's always that we bounce off at about these levels, right? So it's crazy. Maybe we go a bit lower. So you can see right here that we a lot of these levels touch at about exactly 7 cents. So maybe we have to completely fill the scan wick. Maybe we go a bit lower, have one final bottom. I'm of course not guaranteeing anything, but maybe we have to completely fill this wick here before the pain is truly over. Max pain before max gain. I mean, I get it, man. It feels bad. Welcome, guys. Good to see you. I'm really happy to have you all. Got 68 people watching the charts here live with me. It's an interesting day. Bitcoin is closing the week very bad, like very, very bad. If we take a final look here at the chart, the weekly chart, you see how many rat weeks again? This is a big rat candle. big red candle this week. And this all happened within the last 2 days. So, yeah. Did we start the week at 97? No, we didn't. We didn't. This is how quick it goes, though, right? This is how quick. We were at 97 just about 2 weeks ago. Nobody was bearish. Like, nobody. Like, yeah, we're going back up again. Let's go. Maybe a few bears here and there. Is there a chance for like 6 cents? I'm not saying there isn't, but I think the chances are, you know, quite slim. Chances are quite slim. Like, one more time. This is exactly the 7-cent level. We go there a few times, but we don't go deep below it. Guys, thank you so much. I have to go. I'm very tired. It's been a long day to me. Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic again. I'm definitely cautiously optimistic. Let me know again how you feel though in the comment section. We'll be trying to answer also the comment section. If you don't have time, you know, you can also ask me in the Discord. Link is in the Discord down below, or link to the Discord in the thing down below. Members also do have a special chat. You can ask a bit more personal questions there if you want to. I will also try to answer. Not too much, as always. Hit the like button, strap in, subscribe, and we will talk more, hopefully on Tuesday with a video. Otherwise, we'll talk again live on Thursday, 9 PM Amsterdam time, on our midweek update. Let's see if we can get some green candles. See you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bjorn. Thank you. Always, guys, use limit orders. Use the exchange. It's cheap. It is. Thank you so much. Harry Potter. Chocolate is always good. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much.